Hey everyone, Honest Stewie here. Hopefully everybody's doing okay. And I've had to redo this bloody video because my camera's cut out again. Um, this is obviously what was starting with originally my review for Love and Thunder and how I feel about it, and really what was good, what was bad about it. And I'm not going to spoil it for anyone. Don't worry. I'm just going to say bits about the movie that I didn't really like and did like, but I'm not going to say certain plots. And if I say anything spoilery, I'll warn you. Um, but I'm just going to say, like, overall, how I feel about the movie. I didn't really like the movie. Now, it's not a bad movie. It's just not what I'd class as. When you come, I don't really like comparing movies because, it should be an individual movie of its own. Going off that, um, this still not that good. But you can't help but compare this. I don't know what I was going to say then, to Thor: Love and Thunder. You can't help but compare that to Ragnarok, and Ragnarok was hilarious. I do apologise, by the way. My allergies today are playing up. Mustache keeps itching as well, which is why I knocked the pause to blow my nose, and it cut my video off. It just ended it, so I've literally got halfway through this review. Well, I nearly had to the end, but anyway, I'm quite glad because it was a bit choppy and it was a bit all over. At least now I can say it properly. Um, Double take. There we go. So like I say, Thor Ragnarok was fantastic. I thought it was great. It used the dark themes as well as the comedy themes, and it worked. And we got to see Hulk talk. Like, who doesn't want to see the Hulk talk? Which is why Endgame disappointed me, and I'll keep bringing that up with Marvel. But I'm not letting it lie, because it disappointed me big time, because they made the Hulk combine Bruce. What the heck? I liked Hulk. Again, character development that just went nowhere, which happens in this movie, unfortunately. The director of this movie, I love him. I think he's class, right? He does a fantastic job directing movies, but I'm very disappointed in him in this because he feels like they tried to cram. It feels like it's a comedy movie, like a sort of the best way to describe a rom com, but with a really dark sort of Thor Dark World smashed into it. It's like Thor Dark World and Thor Ragnarok had a baby, but it wasn't a very like made a movie. In other words, yeah, but it wasn't like squished together to make a movie. But it wasn't really put together very well, and the jokes were just too many jokes. That's how this movie feels. Don't wrong, the jokes quite funny, but they're not laugh out loud funny. Like I didn't have a proper laugh in the movie like I did at Ragnarok. Ragnarok, I was blooming in stitches. This, I was just like, you laugh, but you don't. It's not a proper laugh. Even in the movies, there was only it wasn't that busy the movie theater, but you could hear people if they laughed, and they didn't laugh at certain scenes, and it sort of made it seem like that scene was funny as, and everyone was just like, no, yeah, okay, what's next? Because we've just seen blooming Gore do something, and it's cut away. Cause that's what keeps happening in this movie. There's a lot of stuff that feels missing. I get there's only so much time, but there's a certain thing. God is in it, and he kills gods. Everyone knows that. And there's a certain bit to say about where it shows one of the gods he's killed. And this isn't a spoiler. This is an example. This god is a titan, and it's massive, right? Big, and seeing Gore work on that would have been awesome. Would have made you realise just how powerful Gore is. I'm sure I'm saying his name right, Gore or something, I don't know. But anyway, Christian Bale, going on to play as him, did a fantastic job. So it's not even that. Just cuts to it being dead. Like, Christian Bale is already passed on from that planet, and it plays after. And it's like, you didn't even get to see him fight it. And then you've got the movie as a whole. Like, they've made Thor too weak in it. He's not Thor. He doesn't feel like, don't get wrong, it's Chris Hemsworth is always going to be Thor. You look at him, he's in his outfit, but it doesn't feel like very. That's much better. Sorry about that. I had to just blow my nose and do that. My hay fever's honestly been really bad. You know when it rains, goes damp, it sets all my allergies off. But I'll be a bit more clear now. As I was saying about Thor, what they've done to him is they've made him a bit too dumb. So in the other movies, yeah, he had his moments where he was a bit, lightheaded, not lightheaded, airheaded. There we go. I keep saying lightheaded. He was airheaded, right? And he was a bit sort of daft, but he was still powerful, and he was still Thor. Even when you look at TV shows, he was Thor, wasn't he? But in this, he is still Thor, but he's Thor if he's like sort of high on weed Thor, like stoner Thor, hippie Thor. But it sounds funny, and it is, but it doesn't suit a serious tone. There we go, it's a good way of describing it. It doesn't suit the tone of the movie. It's trying to be dark, and it's got an underlying storyline, a couple of things that it's quite a sad movie, really. Like the ending was quite sad, but I didn't feel sad. I just felt okay. Well, like I thought, is this the vibe you want to go for? Because literally before that, there was a load of jokes. Every time the skeleton guy, whoa, the rock guy. So apologise, I'm forgetting his name. Keeps butting in and saying jokes. Now he's class, don't get me wrong, and he's voiced by the director. I know, but too many jokes, too many. Every time there's a serious scene, boom joke. Every time there's a serious scene, boom joke, and you just like, it gets to a point where you're like, that could have sort of sat a little longer, and I probably would have cared about Gar, or whatever that situation was. They do go down the route of a certain traditional, stereotypical situation. You don't know when you watch the movie the main reason why they're going to a planet and chasing Gar. I wasn't buying that either. But as a rule, the movie was good. Like I say, best way to describe it was a romantic comedy. I liked it, but I didn't. I say I liked it. I liked seeing Chris Hemsworth as Thor. And I liked seeing a lot of Chris Hemsworth, apparently. Everyone's seeing a lot of him, and it was, as per, we saw a lot of him. But it was just not what I would have, not what it could have been, and not what it wanted to be either. It felt like it didn't know the tone. Again, Ragnarok had dark tones, but it worked well. It was cut properly. It was left to linger. I mean, Odin dies in Ragnarok, and it's still classed as a comedy. You know what I mean? In that way, I'd still say it's a comedy and a movie I'd put on to just relax to. With this one, feels like I just that they wanted to go down the whole route of being dark, but they just didn't also want to shoehorn this comedy in. That doesn't really work very well. Like I said, the main thing that knocked me off a little bit with the movie was the fact they made Thor too weak in it. Everyone he was fighting with, Valkyrie and Lady Thor, which we know, I won't spoil anything, don't worry, fought not alongside him, but fought like him, just as badass as he is, just as powerful as he is. And you look and you go, yous aren't there yet. Female Thor's new, right? This character to pick, has never picked up the hammer before, has never wore the outfit before, no training, hasn't even been in a fight before, not a proper fight, and somehow can wield the hammer and fly around the world and teleport and do all this stuff just as good, if not better than Thor at times. And you kind of go, Thor's had like years of training. And it's a nitpick because it's a movie you go and switch your brain off, but really, you just look at it and you go, that's a bit sort of, come on, reel it back a little bit. Be real here. Don't be scared to make, Thor a little bit powerful. A guy powerful than a woman. And there's nothing against that, but you just kind of look and you go, I know what you're doing. I love it. I love a good badass female character, but I don't like it when it's shoehorned. I like sort of, same goes with a guy. Don't like him shoehorned either. I like it when it's earned. And it didn't feel earned. It felt like they went off a sort of bit of a, not what was the word to use? Not a pity party, but like a sort of certain thing happens to a certain character in this movie, and it's why they become Thor, and it could have been done so much better. But it was rushed, and that's what a lot of scenes are like in this. It's like the missing scenes, but vital scenes, and they're talking about it. It's like they talk about it in the movie, stuff that's happened that hasn't happened in the movie, that has happened. If that makes sense to you, like they're having a chat about a fight with the thing, Titan, like I said, and you're like, well, we didn't even see it. Like, what you're on about? And that's where it doesn't work. And then a joke's flung in, and you're just like, I'm still trying to process the fact that what the heck are they talking about? And you, from that, like, where'd that joke come from? It's like that type of thing. But as a whole, if you like Thor, go and watch it. Just don't expect it to be Ragnarok. It's nothing like Ragnarok. If anything, this is Naut, really, compared to Ragnarok. But when it's on its own movie, it's a bit of a mess, but it's good. It's good. It's a good watch to switch your brain off and watch. But it's like I say, I want to say it's a brilliant movie, and I'm gonna go and watch it again and this and that. But I just didn't like it. And that's me being honest. I just felt they did Thor like just wrong. But I also did like it at the same time. It was weird. It's weird. Bit like what my last video I made about Obi-Wan, but it didn't have a redeeming ending, and I think that's what did this movie in, was the ending. And you'll know when you watch it. It builds to a certain thing that just doesn't really do anything. So yeah, like I say, feel free to go and watch it. And hopefully if you have watched it now, leave a comment in the video, let me know. But this is me signing out. I'm going to go and play more Far Cry 6. I nearly said 3, that's really jumping back in time. And I'm going to sort of attempt to complete it, even though it's like bloody long. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to chill, really. So yeah, I will see you in the next video where I do another review. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to review next. It might be The Boys Season 3. Since I'm on the last episode of that, I might do a review of that, but we shall see. Might be Stranger Things yet, I don't know. Right, I will see you in the next video. Bye, ciao.